Hello and welcome. This is the Inferno, episode 39. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist tries to snuff your light. So, episode 39 will be about that, whether you are still in a situationship or enmeshed with a narcissist, or if you've recently been freed from the narcissistic relationship, how to help recover yourself. So I was reflecting on the energetic perspective because I believe we are energy beings and what the role of a narcissist is to put your light out on a lamppost as Creator has told us to. And so when you have somebody like a narcissist who will not connect with the Creator and they seek all their validation from outside sources, other people, material things, living only by the flesh, when you're not drawing your energy and your strength and your courage and your will directly from God, Creator, Source, that's where a narcissist has chosen to continue the cycle that they're in and seek out energy, to seek out light from other people. And again, a fuel source for a narcissist, you can have a car sitting there and then you can have me or you sitting there. And to a narcissist, it's the same thing because they view you as an energy source, as a fuel source. You are nothing more than an object to them. So for me personally, coming out of a situationship of 13 years, by the time the gnarly divorce was all said and done, you're going to relate to this if you were in a situationship with a narcissist as well, is that you feel drained. And there's a reason why that is. Wow, why is my camera not focusing? It's very, very blurry. Yeah. Let me see if I can see what's going on with it. So, energetically speaking, and also on the physical level, that's what's happening because they're very parasitic in nature. They do not get their, like I said, they don't get their knowingness of themselves. They're an empty vessel. They don't seek out God, Creator, Source. They won't even reveal their true identity to you until they're ready to throw you away in their eyes, which I say it's God's intervention, really, at the end of the day. And you may not feel that way if you've been newly thrown away by a narcissist. If they were done using you, and they already had their next fuel source, they have to have a main fuel line, right? That goes for anything, just like if it's a vehicle or a lawnmower, there's a fuel line. And if that fuel line becomes weakened in their perspective, like a narcissist always will be, if you've lost your shine to them, if you've gotten a few miles on you from being used by them and worn down by them, they will choose to look for another fuel source and cut you off. Plain and simple. Majority of them know exactly what they're doing, contrary to what the narcissists who call themselves aware narcissists are out here saying. They know exactly what they're doing. And if you've ever been what they call discarded or disengaged from by a narcissist, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because they want to inflict the most damage and the most hurtful things in the end, whether it be their silent treatment or flat out nasty, evil behavior towards you, projection, blaming you. They want to make sure that if they can't snuff your light out all the way, they at least want you to feel like you are dampened. And what the narcissist fails to realize is, if you're a godly person like myself, if you're a genuine hearted person who was thinking that you were in a relationship, genuine relationship. You give your all. You're a, you know, person of value, person of substance. They know that, and they will try to snuff your light out. So that's why they get so bold in the end. Well, in the physical end, because they say that once you're enmeshed with a narcissist, that they claim you forever. And that would probably make sense too, because in my instance, the narcissist filed for a divorce from me, but yet drug it out. So, yeah, I believe that. That's also why you'll find the creeps holding on to pictures of exes and stuff from the past as well, because any person that they've gained characteristic traits from or been enmeshed with or parasited their energy from, you belong to them in their sick, twisted minds. So that's why they get so nasty towards the end, is because they want you to, they don't really want you to see them for who they are. They just want to project onto you that it's something wrong with you. And so I'll be sharing a little stickman interpretation of what I was thinking about, and this was shared to me by my friend. I'm not really, there's so many people out there saying that other people are parroting their information. No, if you've been through narcissistic abuse, you've already experienced it and you've already lived it, so you know exactly what you're talking about when you're out of it, and the freaking PTSD of the mind and all of the trickery and all of the manipulation starts clearing, and you start having more clear thinking because you're connecting to God again and not allowing this person to siphon your life force energy from you. There's many people that have experienced it. And there's also people out there saying that it's an overused word. No, it's not. It's being revealed. There's a reason in time that it's being revealed right now, because all things are being revealed. Deception is being revealed. Light is being shined on the darkness. So if you have the eyes to see, you will know that it's not just a buzzword. I don't go and try to find people that are bashing, I see a lot in comments of people bashing solely women, solely men. It has nothing to do with freaking gender. It's a spiritual battle, and it's a very parasitic energy if you just come to understand energetically what has happened if you've been tangled up in a narcissistic abusive relationship. I just want to show what happens, because again, if you're on the outside of it, or if you're currently still in it, you need to plan to get out of it, because eventually the narcissist is going to be bored with you, and they're going to suck you dry of your life force energy to the point where you're just not so shiny in their eyes again, because they don't look for stability. They look to use you. They look to steal, mimic your characteristic traits. Because if you think about it, if you were with a narcissist and you realized that they were living a parallel life because they were already grooming somebody else to take your place, so they think, they start taking on characteristic traits of whoever it is they're hanging around with. This can be in the workplace. This can be a next fuel source that is, being idolized to be the next fuel line. My advice now that I'm out of it and seeing things more clearly, and I'm not allowing myself to be gaslit. I've went on my own healing journey and know what it was. When you are aware and educated on what you've been with, you then need to be no contact, zero. Because as long as you are allowing any kind of channel, even the drama of he said, she said, finding out what they're doing, don't do any of that to yourself, because you've already went through enough abuse. And if you're truly done with the chaos and the drama, you'll just cut it all off. Focus on your own healing journey and not keep going with whatever the ex supply. I'll just say it, in my instance, it was a ex-husband and his next supply source. I don't care. I was never jealous from the get-go because I knew it had nothing to do with me. I was an excellent wife. I was a godly wife. I was a supportive wife. And give yourself a little bit of credit, because the healing journey and the destruction that they leave behind is very painful and very disheartening to realize that there are people out there that definitely do not have the heart or are genuine like you. And like in my instance, like I was literally sleeping with the fucking enemy. He never had the best interest. Narcissists do not have the best interest of you. I don't care what comes out of their mouth. It's about actions. They will tell you they love you and stab you in the back and screw somebody in the same bed if that was open to them. And it's not just infidelity. It's emotional betrayal. It's physical betrayal. It's sexual betrayal. It is complete whatever serves them in the moment. Very impulsive little creatures. So I'm going to show this diagram. This was shown to me by my friend. I don't know who drew it, but as soon as she showed it to me, I'm like, that's exactly what they do. So I'm going to put God is in the whole. I am a very firm believer in God, Creator, Source. Although I do not have, it's outside of the box of religion to me. So I believe our Creator. I'm going to draw it real quick and then I'll show you. I'm going to draw stickmen because I am not an artist. I'm going to draw another person. So I'm drawing the narcissist. I'm drawing you. I'm drawing God. And your energy is available. Your life force energy is available from God. And that's where you should know, like, who you are. That should be where everything comes from. Your vitality, your creativity, your, validation, all of that coming from God. So what happens is you got God here. Whoever drew this, like, I'll give kudos to them, but it's really not a copy. It's actually just when it was shown to me, I'm like, that's exactly what they do because they're parasitic. So we're supposed to get all of our energy, all of our connection from God. So it comes down to us. The narcissist doesn't go to God, Creator, Source. The narcissist goes to other people. So they're drawing their energy from you. And I don't want to point that. Okay, so we got to switch it because the narcissist is not giving you energy. They're just mimicking you. So this is you, and the arrow should actually be this way. So they are siphoning energy from you. They are filling up their cup from you. That's why you are so tired by the time that a narcissist is done using you. They don't go to God, Creator, Source. That is available to them just like it is to us, but they don't choose to, be still and listen. Oh my God, if you have ever been with a narcissist, you'll know what I'm saying. They're constantly busy because they can't be still. If they're being still, they're doing something sneaky. They're doing drinking, they're doing drugs, they're doing pornography. They do not be still and listen to the calling and listen to their hearts like we do. They siphon your energy. So this arrow, like I said, this is your life force energy being filled up by God, your cup being filled up by God. And the whole time, you're not just giving it, but you're giving love. You're giving them validation. You're thinking you're in a marriage with them, and you just think that it's two people back and forth, lifting each other up. That's not the case. The energy from the narcissist, the whole time you're giving. They're not giving back to you. They're only pretending to give to you. Because if you think about it and you was with a narcissist, they've never really were reciprocal to you. They were only mimicking in the flesh what you wanted to see, what you wanted to hear, but their words and their actions never line up. So here is the thing with recovering yourself when you get out of a relationship, situationship, enmeshment, entanglement with one of these parasitic narcissists. People say all the time, pray for your enemies, pray for your enemies, pray for your enemies. Okay, I did. I prayed for my enemy that my unknowing to me. enemy for 13 years, it never meant anything. Faith without works is dead. You can pray over them like I did for 13 years. It never did a bit of good, because that person, the narcissist, rebukes Creator, denies Creator. A lot of them get turned over to the reprobate mind, especially when they backslide, which I'm going to talk about that briefly out of Luke in the Bible. They are takers. They're users. And that's why you'll have bodily symptoms show up in your body. Skin rashes, digestive issues, nervous system issues. It's important to not ignore those things, because it is your God-given body, your temple is speaking to you that something is off. Now for me, I was tricked real good, because he pretended after an incident in 2015 that, oh, I got sober. And that's a lot of times because they have other vices. You'll mistaken their issues only for just vices like alcoholism or whatever. No, they are flawed to the degree of they don't think anything's wrong with them. They're not going to reach out to Creator and repent. That's why your prayers are, faith without works is dead. You can, like I said, I prayed for this person for 13 years. It didn't matter. It was all void. God was showing me through dreams, and I just interpreted it not the way God was showing it to me. That there was a darkness there that was not going to be recovered by my prayers. So don't be a martyr. Don't allow your body to die. Don't allow your spirit to crumble. Do not allow your soul to be fragmented by a narcissist to the degree where it breaks you down, because a lot of times you come out of these with, emotional, physical, and even spiritual wounds. So the biggest thing in your recovery is to make sure you go back to source, because you will recover yourself. Go into your prayer closet, so to speak, as a metaphor, and connect, because it's the most important thing for you to do on your recovery journey once you are out of this. And if you're still in it, pray for the strength from God. Go to God and ask for direction on how to get out. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, the narcissist, when they are done using you and they're ready to go to a different fuel line, they want to snuff out your light. They would just as soon you no longer be here physically anymore, because they don't want you, but they don't want you to resurrect yourself neither. They know exactly what they're doing, contrary to what all of these people say out there. I don't care. No. How am I an expert on it? Because I lived it. That's how I feel. I don't have a degree in anything. I have experience of life that I would much rather say that I was not enmeshed with this, because I've needed peace in my life for many years. This person pretended to be, oh, I quit drinking, but resented me and hated me the whole time. But they resent you and hate you just because you are an authentic person. Understand this. Because if you walk your walk and talk what you walk what you talk, and you're a genuine person, they think that you're betraying them because of how empty they are, how fake they are, how they mimic other people's personality traits. So they end up thinking that you betrayed them because you actually are who you say you are. It's mind-bending and mind-twisting, and it's definitely a spiritual component to this. You have to, again, get your energy and your knowing of who you are from God, Creator, Source. The narcissist doesn't have any power over you once you're aware of this, but they darn well try to snuff out your light. So remember that your light comes from God. What the narcissist tells you you are, what the narcissist tries to belittle you into being and gaslight you into being, because they're very good about that, making you doubt your own reality. Don't tell me they don't know what they're doing. They absolutely do. And when they backslide into things of like alcohol, we're going to talk about the legions because I witnessed it. When you backslide into vices that are not good for you and nobody around you, and you're being a betrayer and a cheater and a liar and a thief of energy, of physical things, because that's a lot of things too, they'll steal physically even if they don't need to steal anything, because they're just supply. They'll do it just to see if they can get away with it. They're quite cowardly, actually, and con men and women. So I want you to take from the experience. I don't believe in this thanking them for thanking any destruction of or any demise from anybody that you've experienced. But what I will say is, you take yourself, gather yourself back up, and like I said, God first. That's how you're going to recover yourself from these parasites. Build from the destruction that they leave behind a new foundation, and allow yourself to not stay in the victim mode, even though you were victimized. Don't stay there, but take the experience and take the wisdom on your healing journey and pay it forward to help other people. I'm going to remind you that if you were, quote, disengaged from, thrown away like a piece of trash on the highway, I want to remind you that a narcissist can't weather where you're going. God's elevating you. You're in a different season of your life. And you think about it, the roots of a tree. So if you take a popple tree, which is a very nice tree, don't get me wrong, but the roots are shallow. And that is kind of like symbolic of the narcissist. And I hate comparing a narcissist to a tree because I love all trees. But you take a tree that's an oak or a maple, and they have a stronger root system. They're meant to weather the storms. A narcissist has the root system of a popple tree, and they can't weather the storms of life because they're weak. They're not deeply rooted. They're superficial. They're fake. They're shapeshifters. They take on other people's personality traits. They portray to the world because they know they're shallow and empty and superficial, and they pretend to be people that they are not, just to fit in, just to use you, just to get along. But ultimately they have no strong root system because it's not anchored in God. And so they're not meant to go where you're going. They were not equipped by God, Creator, Source, to go where you're going. You're going to where the sun's shining brighter. There's better things and better opportunities for you ahead. And the narcissist couldn't go with you. Well, they could, but they won't repent. They won't go to God. And if you've noticed, none of them sleep where the shit unless they're consuming some sort of mind-altering substance. Because somewhere in them is a conscience, just like there is us, but they choose to ignore it. They have no consideration for your temple, so they can't be with you for the long haul. Sad to say this. They will expose you to other people's energy, other people's sexual energy. They're never loyal, and I'll have to beg to differ with some people out here that are saying it. Narcissists always cheat. It may not end up physical in a sexual cheating, but they're always cheating emotionally. They're always cheating financially. They're always being deceptive. And so they have no reverence for your temple, and they'll expose you. As Pastor, I think it's R.C. Blake's always says, STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases, physical, sexually transmitted diseases. Your body, your temple is an energetic. That's why I did the little stick men there, because we are energy beings. If you're a good person with a good moral compass and a heart of gold, you get your energy from God, Creator, Source. It's a built-in mechanism. Your soul knows right from wrong. You take a narcissist and they're parasiting from you and sucking energy from you and getting validation from you, which is fine and dandy if you're in an equally yoked situation, relationship, but you're never equally yoked with a narcissist. They're parasitic, and they don't think they have anything wrong with them. They think they are gods of their own universe. So why would they reach out to God and repent? In their eyes, they are God. So the most important thing you can do, and I'm going to reiterate this real quick before I read a couple of Bible verses, is the most important thing you can do on your healing journey and your recovery journey once you are out of the relationship with a narcissist is to get your strength from God. And in order to do that, you do have to be still. Our society's taught us to be busy, busy, busy. And sometimes you just need to be still and recover and lick your wounds and nourish your body and nourish your temple. Definitely go get yourself checked if you've been in a toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationship, because 10 out of 10 times, I'd say 9 out of 10, 9.99% of the time, they've exposed you to other people's energy, sexual energy as well. So get yourself blood work done, get yourself checked, cleanse yourself in Epsom salt baths, clear your mind. And eventually on your journey, and this doesn't happen overnight, you have to stop with the emotional thinking and look at this logically and spiritually so that you can recover yourself. Because emotionally, it's very, very painful to realize that you've been conned and used. They will use you for any sort of supply. Cleaning their home, sexual energy, finances, characteristics, your traits, your personality traits. They are constantly parasitic in nature and taking on other people's characteristic traits because they have none of their own. If you think about it, and I have, now that I'm clear of this and getting back into knowing who I am as a divine child of God, as Lady Virgo to the public, knowing who I am, they are quite boring if you think about it. But they will also, in the beginning, bombard you with, gifts, compliments, dining, sex. And if you think about that as well, sex with a narcissist is very robotic. If you think about it, think back. I'm not just talking fleshly way of orgasm or whatever. Intimately, cold as ice, very robotic. And as many say, it's basically masturbation with themselves. You're just there as an object and they're using you. And I know this for a fact too, that it is true. Because years ago when I physically knew that he cheated, one of the many times, I also caught him masturbating to pornography right after he did it. And that's just freaking disgusting, right? So from Luke 11, and this is down a bit. You can get your Bible out and read this as well. A house divided cannot stand. So whether you were in a marriage or a close situationship with a narcissist, the home is always divided because the narcissist actually being parasitic works against you. They're trying to snuff and dim your light the whole time until when they're ready to monkey branch off to somebody else, they'll just outright not hide it anymore. And you'll stand there like I did when it was happening, being blindsided. Like my intuition knew something was off, but when he came home and found pleasure in blindsiding me, they will no longer hide it anymore. And they'll start coming up with all these lame things of, I'm not happy. You. And it was the most stupidest shit that this one said, mimicking what his mom said. You didn't go to the Red Wings game with me. That's why I deserve to get cheated on, lied to, betrayed, stabbed in the back. My temple was exposed to your coworker. Is because I didn't go to the Red Wings game with you. Like, really? Leave in the comments examples if you were disengaged by the narcissist when the mask slipped and they showed the true colors of the outlandish projection that they give to you to why the demise of the situationship has ended is just crazy. So a house divided cannot stand. You're never going to be equally yoked with a narcissist. Don't be the martyr. Don't, be the self-sacrificial lamb to try to help them, because that was a lot of us are healers and empaths that get enmeshed with these narcissists. And ultimately, when they have, the entity attachments and the legions that latch on to them because they're so low vibration, they literally want you to not be here anymore, physically. So, demonic energies can enter you anytime there is trauma. And so you have to go to Creator and recover yourself. So, Luke 21, when a strong man, fully armed, guards his own place, his goods are in peace. So if you're strong in Creator, you're already guided and guarded and protected. But a narcissist is not a strong man or woman. They're weak. They're weak to the flesh. So when a strong man, fully armed, guards his own palace, his goods are in peace. But when a stronger than he comes upon him and overcomes him, he takes from him all his armor in which he trusted and divides his spoils. He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. A narcissist don't gather with God. What do? They scatter like cockroaches. They're parasites. When they're done feeding on you, they scatter off to another fuel line, another source of energy. They get bored. They're impulsive. They're very flesh. They don't beat their flesh down for the life of them. If there's an opportunity, they are taking it. Trust me. So this one's Luke 11:24. An unclean spirit returns. And this is what I was talking about when they backslide into, if they were kind of going along, trying to be a good moral person, moral woman, moral man, and they go backwards, which they all do. Their flesh is too weak. They just choose to be weak. And when they go backwards into any of the vices, whether it's alcohol, more lying, cheating, anything low vibration, again, we're energy beings. The legions of energies, when they backslide, this is what we're talking about, an unclean spirit. When an unclean spirit goes out of man, he goes through dry places seeking rest and finding none. He says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he finds it swept and put in order. So if you get on the path, which a narcissist won't, you stay on a path, your house will be in order. I am finally having peace in my life, and I've needed it more than ever in the past 10 years. So because I am doing my work, I am clinging to God. I'm going to, I'm clear-minded. I'm not on alcohol. I haven't been on alcohol since 2016. I'm not allowing myself to be more concerned about my husband's well-being, ex-husband's well-being, than I was my own. Because that's another thing that happens that we don't even know when we're in it. Like, say you're in a marriage with them, you think that you're building this marriage with your husband or wife, and they're doing all this trifling shit, and then you finally are aware of it. Your house ain't in order because one of you is way out of whack with that. So your house will have chaos. Your house will have entities. Your house will carry the energy of instability, chaos, drama. Because if you think about it, narcissists are very gossipy, and they're always into drama because it feeds them positive or negative energy. They don't care. So Luke 20, we're back on 26 now. Luke 11:26. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter and they dwell there, and the last state of that man is worse than the first. I said that to the ex. I don't even like calling him husband now because he never loved me. Narcissists do not love. So get that through your head. I know it's emotional, and if you're new to getting out, cry and process the emotional part of it, because it's very painful to know that you were used, and we only have a little short amount of time here on planet Earth. When they backslide, like this one did, and they go back into their vices, the state that he was in his 20s when he didn't show up to meet his father and went to jail for substances and whatnot, in a bad space, self-harming, when they get out of that and they're in an environment like this one was, where that person was truly loved, and, well, you think you are, but you don't even know who they are till the end. Anyway, when they backslide, it's going to be worse than the state that they were in initially. And that is always the trajectory of a narcissist. So get yourself out. God did not intend for us to be into marriages with liars, deceivers, cheaters, and definitely not with a narcissist who thinks they're doing no wrong, who actually finds joy in trying to snuff your light. Don't allow it. I hope this was helpful. Episode 39 of the Inferno. I am Lady Virgo. Please do interact with me. Let me know how this resonates for you. Please do go to God, Creator, Source, whatever it is you call it, and recover yourself, because you're worthy. And remember, the narcissist does never defines who you are. Your creator defines who you are, and then you know that within yourself. So when they tried to snuff your light out, they failed to realize that your light never came from them. Your light came from God, Creator, Source of the universe. Much love to you. Shalom.